What is up, guys? As usual, I'm in a motherfucking rush. It always does seem that way, right? Yeah, well, today's like a rush. I got about 10 minutes. Hopefully, I don't go over that time. I didn't even have time to really set me up right in front of the camera like I normally do for these Top 5 Thursdays, but nevertheless, I did have to get this out, even though I waited till the very last second. This shit almost slips my mind every time now that I do it every other week. But luckily, cooler heads prevailed. Or head prevailed? Yeah, my head right here prevailed, and I remembered it. So let's do top 5 poop scenes. And I'm going to give you... Did I even say that? Yes. We're doing top 5 poop scenes. Yes. Rachel Burke, thank you for this, because this is what you have me doing, girl. No. She's been a solid member of Box Office Banter for a little while now. In the group on Facebook, Box Office Banter Movies, check that out if you've not yet. And you can tell me to do ridiculous stuff like this. Yeah, so this is her top 5 for this week. You know, kind of in the wake of the Johnny Depp and Have You Amber Heard trial. But have you heard of these poop scenes? There's actually more to choose from than I realized, because I'm not necessarily a big fan of toilet humor, but once in a blue moon, it is done right, and I enjoy it quite a bit. And yeah, like I said, there's more than I thought. I have 8 here. I kind of narrowed it down to that, so I'll give a few honorable mentions even. My 8th one, the Halloween remake. Yes, Rob Zombie. I'm a big fan of this movie. I love the scene with Ken Faree on the toilet when Michael goes and gets his jumpsuit. He's just in there, and, you know, it's just 2 big dudes duking it out. But before then, he's taking a shit. He's talking about, he's just like, I got a something double deluxe. You know, it's been a while since I've seen the Halloween remake. About, wow, I mean, like 2 years. I love that movie. It doesn't go too long without me seeing it. But he said something about a burrito double deluxe or something, barking back at me. You mind if I pass this beast in peace? And he's just kind of looking around like, what's going on? And then out of nowhere, 2 big-ass feet are right in front of the stall. And then he fucking opens the stall, and it's just 2 big-ass dudes staring each other down. And you get the classic just like, I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. Like, that whole scene is dope. And it's pretty wild when they go at it. You know, he's taking his arm with the knife and just bang, bang, just smacking his arm into the stall. The stall door is falling. It's a good little scene. So, yeah, we even have, you know, you probably would have thought this was all funny shit. Not exactly. How about, let's do Friday. Yeah. Hey, yo, Smokey over here taking a shit. Yeah, that shit is still hilarious to this day. He literally just told him, like, oh, no, I ain't gonna tell nobody. And then immediately tells everybody. Everybody loves that shit. And the last honorable mention, Austin Powers with Tom Arnold next to him in the stall. The Lucky Charms fucking guy comes out of the vent and he's just choking him, and Tom Arnold's like listening on the other side of the door, and all you hear, you know, talking about number 2, the villain, fucking Austin Powers is just choking him like, who does number 2 work for? And Tom Arnold's on the other side of the, you know, wall, just like, that's right, you give him boss. He's like, man, that sounds kind of nasty, actually. Like, how about a courtesy flush? And it's like, you fucking tell him, buddy. Like, that's a pretty good scene. I'll give him that. That's the honorable mentions. Let's jump into the actual ones. At number 5, do not have these ordered, so that makes it a little tougher for me. Let's go... Bridesmaids. This, in general, this is one of the, like, funniest scenes maybe ever. Like, it's so fucking good. Maybe I shouldn't have put this at 5. These top 5, it's this close. It's so damn good. This cast, so damn good. But this scene in particular that, you know, involves bathroom humor is fucking great. It's very well done. This exemplifies when you can put a funny story about shitting in a movie and do it right and make it work. It's not just, oh, you farted, and it's just a cheap fucking joke. You know, like, it's got it all based around the main bridesmaid, or wants to be the main bridesmaid. You know, the old friend coming into the picture to, you know, the girl that's getting married, the bride. And then you have this new friend that's coming in that's taking her out, fucking, trying to be the new best friend. I feel like everybody's been in that situation before. Guys probably don't get as much bent out of shape over it, but every once in a while you'll have like this old best friend. And I think this happens to everybody. I'm sure I can't directly recall, but it feels like something that may have happened to me. I might come up with on the spot. Not like y'all care about that portion, but you know what I'm saying though. You've probably had that moment where you're just like, oh, it's my best friend. You gotta hang out, and then like they're just all buddy buddy the next one. Not that it bothers you per se, or it might bother you, but you can see that like the new best friend is almost like trying to rub it in, and it's kind of just like, am I being weird right now, or is this person actually trying to go the extra mile to show just like, yeah, but look at us, we are this close, and it's just like, okay, brother. Or you'd be like Kristen Wiig in this movie and just take it horribly wrong, and she got everybody food poisoning. And it's even hilarious when she's just like sweating and fucking Rose Byrne's character's like giving her, she's like, you look like you need to lay down. And she's like, did that food make you sick? And she's just like, no, I'm hungry actually. And she's like, here, eat this. And she like takes a bite of like a cracker, and it looks like she's gonna be like the cracker and just turn into dust when she bites. She's like, it's good. Like, it's so funny. And what actually goes on in the bathroom, one girl's just like, I don't know about y'all, but I gotta get off. I just gotta get off this white carpet. It's horrible, dude. And then she ends up in the bathroom. They come over, get some throw up humor too. And one girl's already puking. The one girl comes up over top of her and needs to puke so bad. She fucking throws up on her head, and she's like, get away from me. And then the one girl, of course, played by Melissa McCarthy, she can't go anywhere. She's like, oh, it's coming out like lava. And they're just like, no, no. And she's like on the fucking, in the sink. And the one girl, this is like a real proper place, is losing her shit too. She's not shitting, but she's losing her shit. And it ends with the bride going out in the street, and Kristen Wiig's just like, oh, wow, you're really doing it right there in the street, aren't you? Great fucking scene, dude. Come on. Bridesmaids is great, and that's one of the best scenes. I've heard that the theater reaction to that is pretty fucking wild from a few people that have seen it. At number 4, we're gonna do Hills Have Eyes 2. Yes, Hills Have Eyes 2 has the shit scene, and I'm talking about the remake, not the first one with Wes Craven. The one where the guy's sitting on the toilet and he's just calm. He's on the porta potty, I should say, and out of nowhere, some hands and arms come up between his legs. For one, it's kind of creepy, so you're kind of already jarred, like, what? Like, I already don't like porta potties, but now I'm definitely afraid of porta potties as a viewer. And when he runs out, and I can't remember what he says, like, it sounds insane. He's just like, there's somebody in the toilet. And, the girl's like, what do you mean there's somebody in the toilet? And, for him, that's got to be just as crazy a question. He's like, how the fuck do I know? Shit, man, the barbarian. He says something like that. And I don't know why, but it always makes me laugh. And I actually think this movie overall is pretty underrated. It's not as underrated or as near as good as the first one, because the first remake is up there, top tier, top 5 type of remake. But this one gets overshadowed, and it's at least a fun little fucking action horror, movie with some cool little scenes in it that you wouldn't expect that might make you laugh at times. It's just good. It's a solid movie, I think. So that would be my number 4. And at number 3, we're going to go with Lethal Weapon 2. Let's do some more like off the wall type of shit. Again, you're thinking comedy. Here's back-to-back ones that are not comedy. In Lethal Weapon 2, man, like when Danny Glover is stuck to the toilet in the bomb, obviously he just got done taking a shit unless he sits when he pees. I think they even mentioned, hey, he's taking a shit. Maybe they don't. And you got Mel Gibson. What better person to calm you down in a situation? And he's just like, it's funny because it's this tense situation with these guys. And then, of course, you got the iconic line with Mel Gibson where he's just like, guys like you don't die in the toilet, Murtaugh. Like, it's just like, it's such a fun, weird, almost intimate moment from between the buddy cop duo that's probably arguably the best. And watching them in this fucking surreal situation with this bomb, and then them having to eventually jump into the tub and it explodes, and you gotta hope that Murtaugh doesn't blow his ass off, or even Mel Gibson's character Riggs, like, he might have had his ass blown off, like diving into the tub with them. It's a wild bonding moment for them two, and it's oddly very entertaining. At number two, I'm gonna go with Hall Pass. The shit scene when he brings Jason Sudeikis' character brings home old girl, and she's sitting on the edge of the tub, and she sneezes in a dress, and that makes her ass go up, and she shits all over the wall. I don't know why. The first time I watched this, I think it was just from the sheer nature of how surprising it was. It did make me legitimately laugh out loud. Not like that laugh out loud you put on Facebook where you're like, huh. This was like I was laughing my ass off type shit. Because like just watching his night go so horrible, and he's like, wow, like this girl is fucking a mess. Like I wish I could get her out of my apartment. And then everybody's had that, at least I think I have, where you're like, this is not what I expected. I am not feeling this girl at all. If anything, she's like freaking me out at this point. I do not want her here. How do I get her out without being a complete dickhead? And to put myself in his mind frame, like I do so much with that movie because it is so spot on, to like real life. Guys are pigs to some degree, but a lot of it's just jokes, and we do love our women. But as a guy, with that locker room stupid humor, we see shit and you're like, oh, dude, like, yeah, we do that, and we could easily get busted for that, and then yeah, it's funny, you know what I mean? Now I've never had a hall pass or desire to have one of those, but there's a lot of stuff in the movie I can relate to, and that's what's funny about it is because by the end of it, they are like, I just want to go home because that's what we are at the end of the day. We're all this big talk, but at the end of the day, we want to be right here with our wives, and the movie is so relatable, and that scene for me is relatable, and not because I had a chick shit like that and pull an Amber Turd, but just to be there like, I do not want this girl here anymore, and imagine the situation going from godly horrible, ungodly horrible to just like, are you shitting me right now? Like literally, you just shit on the wall. It was so out of left field and oddly so funny, even though toilet humor is not always the funniest thing to me. So yes, that is my number two. And at number one, I won't spend too much time on it. It's got to go to Dumb and Dumber, dude. Harry, something about the way he acts with the like almost like whatever gasp he's letting out that I cannot give justice to. It's the funniest shit, and the pre shit is probably the funniest shit to me, dude. Just the like he'll be walking and then out of nowhere it makes a I can't even do the noise. I don't know what it does, dude. Like it'll stop him dead in his tracks and you see his eyes light up. He does these like smiling on the way to Mary's house and out of nowhere his eyes light up and it makes that noise. Like something suctioning out. It's almost like a toilet malfunctioning is what it sounds like, but that's his stomach just building up. And then he's like, where's the bathroom? And he just mid steps like and he's like, shit, I gotta get somewhere. And he's over there like, I'm shaving, like I'm brushing my teeth. Just an absolute nightmare. She's just like, I hope you going number two or using the toilet and then you're just and plays that fucking intense music when he's staring at the fucking door like shit. Like you can only imagine. Talk about like trying to win a chick over and you're the disgusting dude that just shits in the toilet like he did of all things. You gotta give Lloyd some credit, dude. Lloyd Christmas, played by Jim Carrey, of course, if you somebody didn't know, he got him, and he got him good. Like that's almost too good. Like we gonna have to fight, but here in a few years, it's one of those like we gonna fight, but we are gonna laugh about it. But like there was some malicious intent there. Like Mary had them fucking. I mean they were at each other's throats over that girl. Like she was the one. But yeah, great fucking movie, great fucking scene. Thanks as always, Rachel. It's been another Top 5 Thursday. Of course, I went over my time, but I guess to get. I love you guys. Y'all have a good one.